What could be more heartwarming than the moment an animal is reunited with its beloved owner? Some of the most endearing and remarkable real-life reunions lie ahead in this video. Make sure you watch to the end. We'll start with the unbelievable reunion of Wisconsinite Jose Andaverde and his four-legged friend Chaos. After going through a divorce, Jose lost his home, was living in his car, and had to have a friend take care of Chaos. After 3 months, Andaverde was able to find another home, but Chaos' new owner refused to return the pet. Jose was heartbroken, but it wasn't for nothing that he called his dog Chaos, and the animal's irrepressible energy is worthy of respect. Chaos ran away from his new owner and wandered in search of Jose for 2 years, until an animal services officer found the stray dog on his front porch. Fortunately, Chaos was wearing a collar with an identification number associated with Jose's phone number. Coincidentally, at the very moment Jose was reading an email informing him that Chaos' microchip needed renewing, his phone rang with a call from the county animal services. What happened next is better to just watch.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Oh, my God.
He's so excited now.
Every animal responds to care with love. Just look at how this camel snuggles up to its owner, hugging him tightly with its neck. By the way, a camel never forgets anything, and when a person wins its trust, it will always take care of them. Judging by this emotional moment, this person has earned both the trust and love of his companion. Are you suffering from a lack of attention? Get a husky. These affectionate dogs will lick you from the bottom of their forever puppy hearts. But if you're away from home often, be prepared for not only an exuberant greeting, but also for your neighbor's praise of your pet's singing ability. After all, as you may know, huskies don't love to bark, but prefer singing solos. And now we'll take a trip to Spain. Here in the town of El Borje in Malaga, an owner had been looking for his donkey for more than 2 months.
¿Qué pasa?
The man was very worried because his pet was due to give birth soon and required special care. How unbelievable but heartwarming it is how the young mother tells her owner about her life without him.
¿Qué? ¿Qué?
Not only domestic pets are loyal to their caregivers. For 4 years, Karol Potapov from Yekaterinburg, Russia, had been inseparable from his wolves, Alpha and Ugolek. But when he has to leave, a greeting that would tug at anyone's heartstrings is waiting for him. And these are the big bad wolves? A person can befriend more than just wolves, and this touching meeting between a gorilla and an English scientist is proof of that. Even these intimidating creatures can establish trusting relationships and become an example of true friendship between a person and a wild animal. This Englishman raised the primate from childhood and then returned him to his native Africa. And 5 years later, he was able to visit his foster child. The gorilla not only responded to the man's voice immediately, but after seeing him again, didn't want to let him go. Just 3 weeks were enough for Meraki de Jong and her horses to miss each other. Not even the exhausting 12-hour flight from Brazil to the Netherlands could keep the owner from her long-awaited reunion with her pets. She immediately returned without rest to greet her animals after stepping off her flight. Any animal will be grateful to someone who shows it care and attention, and in return, they give us their devotion and love. And even funny little piglets like to express their love for their owners. Look at how cute this piglet is demanding attention from its guardian. But games alone won't do. The tiny toy also demands kisses. How loyal animals can be. Wildfires in Napa Valley, California brought a lot of destruction, and thousands were left homeless. Many returned to the wreckage of their homes in hopes of finding their pets. Laura Ringenberger was very lucky. Her cat wasn't looking for new shelter, but waiting for her owner right on the ashes. How incredibly touching.
It's okay, kitty. Yes, it's okay.
Some find it hard to pet even a domestic cat, But not Dean Schneider from Switzerland. He's not even afraid of the embrace of a 207-pound lion named Dexter. Take a look at these firm hugs. The wildcat clearly does not want to let go its beloved human, and for good reason. Dean had saved the little lion cub from breeders. He quit a prestigious job, moved to South Africa, and devoted his life to wild animals, truly deserving of a standing ovation. Incredibly, even swans have it in them to miss their caregivers. This bird Kesha was released after being wounded in the wing by poachers, but it can't fly. Kesha lives in the eco-park Medvedy Krai in the city of Kurapol, Russia, and misses its savior greatly whenever he goes on a business trip. And by the way, Kesha doesn't allow anyone else to enter its beautiful, warm little home except for its beloved caregiver. If the noble swan tries only to embrace its guardian in its wings and tell him how bored it was without him, well, that's nothing for Peter the goose. This hooligan even climbed into his owner's lap. Moreover, Peter lovingly pinches her neck, picks at her hair with his beak, and is quite jealous of any competitors. Peter's owner is his alone. We're all familiar with the playful nature of these small capuchin monkeys, but have you seen how strongly they miss members of the family they call their own? This little girl named Zoe hasn't seen her grandmother for a whole week. Such an emotional reunion. The owner and his dog had never been apart for a single day, but one day he had to leave for a short while. The reaction of his pet was not long in coming. Maybe only now the owner realizes exactly how much his dog loves him and needs him and his attention. What do you like to gift your friends? Artem Murasan was gifted an actual lion cub, and everything would be fine except for the fact that Artem lives in an apartment building in St. Petersburg, Russia. The lioness named Legend lived with the Martazoan family for several months, and during this time, she became not only a full member of the family, but also a local star. But the time came to separate. Artem took Legend to the Taigan Safari Park in Crimea, where he was forbidden from seeing her for a year so she could adapt. But how much happiness the long-awaited reunion brought them. This girl and her horse had to wait 2 whole years for their reunion. How touching are the moments when animals and people not only find a common tongue, but speak the language of trust, understanding, and love. Anyone who has lost a pet knows perfectly well the feeling of anxiety and longing when they're not around. Fortunately, the owner of this parrot was reunited with its pet thanks to a stranger who found the missing animal and CTV News, who were notified of the found bird. American Anthony Podolinsky and his wife Michaela know way better than anyone the severity of losing a beloved friend. Taking leave from work and moving from Alaska to Oregon to take care of Anthony's father at the end of his life and help his mother with the subsequent funeral arrangements prevented the couple from seeing their pet Brady for some time. 3 months later, on Christmas Eve, the family was finally reunited. What a wonderful holiday it turned out to be. A truly remarkable story happened to a traveler named Hugo. This parrot was found wandering along the main runway of the Dublin airport. Employees immediately began searching for his owner. 4 people tried to call him Hugo, but none of them were able to provide the identification number on his ring. For the parrot, an audio recording of his rightful owner speaking Slavic was enough, and he immediately recognized him. Here we have another touching reunion between a pig and his foster family. How sweet it is when pets make it back home. Don't ignore a lost animal, help it find its home. Do you have any similar stories of helping an animal in need? Let us know in the comments. This baby capuchin hadn't seen his best friend for quite some time and missed him very much. Just look at these embraces and games they play together. They are really a good match.
The happy just kisses.
Oh, right in the eyeball.
That was sweet.
And here's another heartwarming story of a lost cat reunited with its owner. This girl had already given up hope of ever seeing her beloved pet again when she was handed a bag with a rather unusual gift named Mango. He trained this beautiful horse from a young age up to the Grand Prix in Canada before they had to part ways. Look at how good they are together. The horse doesn't even want to be one step behind his trainer. Babies aren't always small. This baby elephant weighs much more than his beloved zoo worker, but the girl knows her friend so well that she isn't afraid to put her head in his mouth. The first game, much like the first steps, is never forgotten. John is 89 years old, and 21 of those years he spent raising a cockatoo named Coco. It was very difficult for him to part with his pet, but he was no longer able to care for Coco easily. John even sent Coco birthday cards and talked with him on the phone. Coco's new owner spent a whole 9 hours on the road to reunite the bird and his former owner.
Come on, in. Come on, in.
There we go, the reunion. Is that John? He's been waiting.
Let us know in the comments how your pets greet you when you return home. Subscribe and click the bell to make sure you don't miss out on the next interesting video. See you soon.